Hi everyone, happy almost fall. I'm Angela. Welcome and welcome back to Angela's Fashion Mix. If you are new here, I welcome you to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Today's video is about my fall decorating.
And if you have not seen my exterior fall decor, I invite you to take a look at this video. The link is above so that you can see in total what I've done for fall.
I've mentioned before that I like to change things up, so I'm typically not going to do the same thing year to year. This year I'm focusing more on the dining room and not so much spreading it around, although I do have an arrangement in the living room and I have a small arrangement in the family room. The focus is on the dining room. So if you are looking for some ideas, one thing I would recommend is that you look at pieces differently than what their intended use is. I talk about that a lot in my fashion videos, but I also apply that right here in my decorating. So the focal point of what is going to be my tablescape is what I'm using for my charger or my placemat. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have not subscribed for fashion or otherwise, please consider subscribing. I also appreciate your shares. And if you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. I thank you for watching. So let's get into my fall decorating. I've mentioned before that I do not decorate a lot for fall, but so I decided to make the big decoration for fall this year right here in the dining room. So I brought back these willow branches. We're using those here just like in the living room. And I decided to go and build this, make this really big and a focal point. And just adding a little bit of greenery here off the sides. And then I'm going to do a pumpkin display right here. So for the table, I am going to decorate this a little bit. I don't do a full place setting, so I'm just going to do a simple tablescape. Playing a little bit off of this pillow and kind of going in here and pulling that out. Something to complement that. And I keep this pillow here on the armchair. I have two of those, and that's where they rest. So a couple of months ago, I went to a decorator warehouse sale, and I found these. And they're actually supposed to hang. But when I saw them, I didn't see them as a piece of wall art. I saw them as a placemat. And they have kind of a satin finish. Just some layers here. So this feels fall. I'm going to pull these in, but I'm going to use these as a placemat. Then you can kind of see how that kind of blends. So for my plates, I'm going with a basic white. It's kind of an everyday dinner plate, nothing special about it. Just a simple plate. And I got these from Garden Ridge some time ago because Garden Ridge has been gone for a while. And if you're not familiar, At Home is currently what Garden Ridge used to be. So they've been around for a while. So we're going to add those. to keep this piece here. I'm going to put something in it. Haven't decided just what yet, but it's going to stay. So to this mix, I'm pulling in a China soup bowl, still in white, and these have a little bit of a ribbed edge, if you can see that, and they also have gold trim. So that will play well off of the placemat. Just to add another layer. Because there's greenery in the backdrop, as well as the palm, I'm going to add some greenery in here. And I may add a little bit more at some point, but for now, that's going to work. So to minimize a little bit of busy, I'm going with the clear glass. And this also has a gold edge on it. So I want to visually expand what this space is here. I'm not using a runner because of the layers on the placemat, but I'm going to bring in a couple of candlesticks there. And these have a little bit of texture. These have a ribbed design. We can see that. And they are a very dark brown. So that kind of visually expands this space. And also kind of pulls in the dark tones off of the lamp as well as the scarf here on the buffet. And to that, I am going to add gold candles. And these are beaded. I also use these at Christmas. They kind of, again, work with the pillow, but also the color mix on the placemats. So this is my fall dining room tablescape. Starting with the placemat. Basic white. This is china with the gold trim, with a coordinating rim on the glass. Beaded candles. I'm pulling in the brown mix to create the darker tones. So I like to use my pieces in a variety of ways. You've seen these before recently. We brought these into the fall decor. Just added a little bit of greenery. And this little pop here, you can kind of see that with the placemats. And the metal urns are back. And some pumpkins. Now these pumpkins were not all purchased together. I purchased these two together, this separately and that separately, to just kind of build a collection of this white pumpkin. So I really prefer those to the orange. My bowl back here, I keep this up year round. These are pine cones. They're in an antique gold bowl. So just keep those there.
So this entire fall setting was inspired by this pillow.
So that's what we have for fall.